I just wanted to share with you all a couple of things that were some of my favorite takeaways from the Georgia Math Conference that I attended last week. One of the classes I attended was called Math Appetizers, and she gave us several different sites that we could use to get students thinking, get them talking, discussing math, and you can also use it to get them writing, because that's one of the big things that they really need to be able to do, explain and write on the milestones. So one of the sites that she showed us is called estimation180.com. So it looks like this, estimation180.com. You can click on the different pictures and it allows students the opportunity to be able to estimate. So if we're looking at this one, day 6, how many almonds in the cup? There's also a section over to the right of the screen for them to answer a few questions about the cup. So there's a quarter cup of almonds. They need to say, what's a number that's too low? What's a number that's too high? Give your estimate and give your reason. And that gives them that opportunity to actually discuss their thinking, to write about their thinking, and tell what their understanding of this is. You can also use this information to guide instruction. It's a really simple way to see what the kids are thinking in a way that's not threatening. It's kind of fun to guess how many are in the cup. So there's different things on that website, lots of different opportunities for them to estimate and discuss their thinking. The next one that I want to discuss is which one does not belong. Another opportunity for the students to reason and to really think about the numbers and what's going on with the numbers. This is a good way to discuss, to bring in some place value background, which is something they really have a difficult time with, looking at the numbers and determining which one does not belong. And there's different representations of numbers that you could use in your classroom. And that one is which one doesn't belong. The next one is would you rather, and they would have to choose a path and justify it. So it's broken down. So if I was in a K through 2 classroom, would you rather have 10 minutes of free time at 9 a.m. and 15 minutes of free time at 10 a.m. or have a half an hour of free time? They really have to think, justify, do some work, and be able to discuss would they rather and justify their answer. And we can do this verbally or we can do it in writing. You could also use these things as math center tasks. And again, that's broken down into K2, 3, 5. So that was K through 2. An example of a 3-5 task. Would you rather 8 quarters or 2 $1 bills? Would you rather read 12 pages every night in a chapter book with 144 pages or read 50 pages 3 times a week in a chapter book with 132 pages? This also helps us with real world connections, making that real world connection to math and just letting them see that math is just not what we do in school. It is something that is going to help you throughout real life. This next site is gregtangmath.com, and you may be familiar with Greg Tang's books. They are listed here, and there are activities. If you click on the books, there are activities that you could use in the classroom. A lot of his things really help with subitizing and number sense, which is really helpful in the lower grades, and even intervention if on the higher grades if the kids still don't have it. But there are activities for his books here. There's some games here Some of my favorite right now are going to be Kakuma, which is like a fluency game. You can choose the operations that you want them to work on, or they can choose the operations they need to work on and move through the levels. They have to decide which two numbers, so like 8 and 2 make 16. And after they've answered all of them, then they have to decide which two numbers add up to equal another one. So 10 and 6 equals 16. So there's a little bit of fluency for multiplication and for addition. But also, there's a lot of things in here that can help the students in the lower grades. There's 10 frame mania, where they have to click the number to show the number on the 10 frame. How much, how many. Numtanga, where you can do it for junior or higher levels, but you can choose the amount, the levels of numbers that they're working with. And then they basically have to match picture representations with number representations. So this is going to help with subitizing and number sense also. And the more we can do that on the front end, the easier things will be for them on the back end. So there's lots of things here. Also videos, directions, resources. And if you join, you can download some free resources. There's also a number problem generator. So you can put what you want them to work on. Are they adding or subtracting? Are they multiplying or dividing? Are they doing equal groups, arrays, comparing, random, product unknown, group size unknown, and then the range of numbers you want, and then generate, and you can work on word problems with the students. Another one that I find to be really good to get the students talking is called Between Two Numbers. So, and this may be a little bit better with the bigger kids, but there's some on here that can be used for smaller kids. So determining or estimating 1 million seconds is about. The volume of all human blood is roughly the volume of water in how many Olympic-sized swimming pools. So giving them the opportunity to work on problems that are more real world based, that they're able to connect what they're learning to the real world. So this one is betweentwonumbers.com. And then another thing that we really need to work on at the elementary level so that the students do not struggle when they get to algebra is the idea of balancing equations. And we can work on that in a very simple way using the Solve Me mobiles. So what happens is you play, and then you have to determine what numbers to put in the boxes in order to balance the mobile. I know here that I have a 10, so I know that, and they're equal, so they have to be the same number. So on one side, I would put 5, and on the other side, I would put 5 in order to balance my equation. And I can submit and go to the next puzzle. They do get progressively harder. I do know that if these are balanced, if this is a 7, this would also have to be a 7. But let me see. So this one, it looks a little bit different. I do know that if each one of these is equal to 2, then this is 2, 4, and then this one would have to also be 4. So they do get progressively harder, but it is teaching them to balance equations, to make sure that what's here is equal to what's here in a fun, non-threatening type of way. So, real quick review. We went over solve me mobiles, between two numbers, GregTangMath.com has lots of resources that can be used in the classroom. WouldYouRatherMath.com. Which one doesn't belong? And Estimation180.com. If you need help with any ideas on how to implement these things in your classroom, just let me know. Thanks.